Hi, here is Kruszon from Sagitta Fan Society. Today here is with me is Sławek Bombadil Miklas from Poznań Tolkien Society Drużyna Pyrlandii. Hi Sławek.
Hello.
And we have special guest from Tolkien Slovak community. Jan Bakos.
Hello.
Hi. Jan, can you tell a few words about yourself?
Of course. Well, I would say I'm a hobbit who likes good food, good drink, good dance, but also I like maps, I like stories, and I'm also probably part also the ranger because I like walking in the woods and in general in nature. And of course, I like books, and I like Tolkien books especially.
How your adventure with Tolkien began?
Well, I first met Tolkien books. I think it was Hobbit on my high school. I read The Hobbit, and then I tried to read also one of the Lord of the Rings books. But unfortunately, The Hobbit was in those days translated to Slovak, and The Lord of the Rings was not. So I tried to read it in Czech, but I was probably too young for it, and so I put it away. But after a few years, I think somewhere on my university, I again found Tolkien, the Lord of the Rings books. I were in a bookshop and I bought them and I read them. Funny thing is that I started with the Two Towers. So I read the Two Towers, then I read the Return of the King, and afterwards I discovered that there is also the Fellowship of the Ring, and so afterwards I read the third book also, or well, the first one.
My adventure with Tolkien began at the same way. Second, third, and then first of all. And I was thinking, who was Boromir?
Why are they grieving for Gandalf?
Who was Victor Krupa? He was the translator of Hobbit and Lord of the Ring.
I'm not sure about the Lord of the Ring, but Victor Krupa definitely translated Hobbit. It was translated during the I think it was during the 80s. So it is one of the first translations either in Slovak or Czech. He translated Hobbit, and that's it probably. I'm not very good with history of literature, but this is what I know about him.
Mm-hmm. What is the professor work for you?
For me, the work of the professor or the Middle Earth itself this is a world that or the world where good wins and the bad are defeated. Of course, the fight takes some time. There are some sacrifices needed, but at the end, the good prevails. And this is, for me, it is kind of inspiration, and it brings also good mood to me to read about such events.
Can you tell me about Tolkien Slovak community?
Of course, Tolkien or the Fellowship of Tolkien, what is our official name, was found somewhere around the year 2001 or 2002. We are organized as an official non-government organization, and we have members not only from Bratislava but from the whole Slovakia. Right now we have around 15 or 20 members. In the past we used to have more members. We used to be more active. So, but then everyone has started to have children and so on. So I would say we are in a similar state as Gondor was on the end of the Third Age. That we had a quite interesting past, but right now we are a little bit struggling.
What kind of community are you creating?
We are based, or the community we are creating is standard, I would say, the group of people that were brought together by the love of the works of Professor Tolkien. But we have also other similar interests. Many of us like Star Wars or Star Trek. Many of us like Harry Potter and so on. So right now we are more group of friends than a group of some scholars or something like that.
Okay. Can you tell me, is Tolkien popular in Slovakia?
I would say yes, because there are still new books coming, and the people are interested in these books. Whenever we are doing any event for the public, there are people coming even from the opposite part of the Slovakia. So I would say that Tolkien is still popular. Maybe not so popular right now as Game of Thrones or something like that, but still.
I would like to ask you now. So, do you have all Tolkien books translated in Slovakian?
I think that the standard books, yes. History of Middle-earth, of course not, but Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, Húrin's Children, and also all these newly published books are also translated to Slovakia.
Okay. Is there a chance that History of Middle-earth will be translated in your country? What do you think about it?
I don't think so, because Slovak book market is quite small, and typically most of the Tolkien books were at first translated into Czech, because Czech Republic is twice as bigger as Slovakia, and also I think that all people from Slovakia understood Czech. So if a book is translated into Czech, it also the Slovak people can buy it. And the History of Middle-earth was not yet translated into Czech. I think first 1 or 2 books were translated, but that's all.
Maybe you have a chance because it's going to be translated all around the world. In a days, we will have our Polish translation of all those volumes. So maybe you will have also.
Well, we'll see, but I don't think that the History of Middle-earth is or will be so popular. But if yes, I will definitely buy it.
Jan asked me what is Tolkien's reconstruction group, because I was asking Jan to you create Tolkien reconstruction group. Sławek, can you tell what is Tolkien's reconstruction group?
well, Gandalf from the Brotherhood of Middle-earth group from the city of Bielsko-Biała is doing some, let's say, we call it cosplay. Everyone in Fandom call it cosplay, but Gandalf says he's making that his group is kind of reconstruction group. So they have almost 100% clothes. These guys also the same as in the movies. They got real weapons, the real swords. They have the real axes, shields, and etc. etc. So, and they have the full-sized costumes, and they are doing some stuff with them. But I think that the most important is that they are walking in those clothes and at some events. They do some crazy stuff about it, and they really look like the characters from the movie, from the Peter Jackson movies. So I think that's the definition of reconstruction group. But anyway, in all fandom, everybody calls that person, that kind of people, a cosplay.
Well, I would say that every one of us also has some kind of Tolkien-inspired costume. They are definitely not 100% identical to the costumes used in movie, but we have more or less good costumes. And also, when we are doing some official event, we are wearing these costumes and enjoying it. So that's it.
I have seen photos on Facebook. And I have question now about it, because what events do you organize? You told you something. You started talking about Tolkien Reading Day, Pitch Day of Bilbo and Frodo. Can you tell about these events and where do you doing?
Well, the Tolkien Reading Day we typically do in one of the bookstores here in Bratislava. We have quite a long and very good history with them. They are basically our friends. So these Tolkien Reading Day we are organizing there. And the Tolkien birthday toast and the birthday party of Bilbo and Frodo, we typically do them in some pub in Bratislava.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what was life like for a Phantom during a pandemic?
Well, the life was tough because we were not able to meet in person, and especially for me, as I work in IT, I have quite a lot of online meetings at work. So having another online meeting in the afternoon with my friends was not so popular, but we have to survive somehow. And luckily, right now we can meet again in person, so we are using it as much as possible.
Yes. In pandemic, you took a part in the Tolkien mailing competition. Yes.
Yes.
And what was it?
This Tolkien mailing competition is a competition or event organized by our Hungarian friends. And it is international competition for the fans of Tolkien. It has it has also some tasks aimed at knowledge of the Tolkien works, and also it has some creative tasks. So everyone can find his own interest there. And they are organizing it, I don't know, for 10 years or maybe even more. And in the last years, I didn't have so much time for it. But it is a very good event because it happens during the fall and winter when the evenings are long and you have a lot of time to...
Is there another Tolkien events in Slovakia?
When we are talking specifically about Tolkien events, then I think we are the only one active Tolkien society in Slovakia. So there are no specifically Tolkien events, but there are still some other conventions. I already mentioned Slavcon. This is a convention we used to organize. Now it has moved a little bit to its own group of organizers. And there are also few more conventions. They are typically or mainly aimed at anime and manga, but they have also some sections for fantasy. So even fans of Tolkien can go there and meet people of the similar interest.
You told that Tolkien Slovak Phantom is now a band of friends, if I can say it that way. But if you are trying to find new persons,
we are, as I mentioned, we are a group of friends, but we are still open for anyone who wants to join. We try to organize all our events as a public event, so everyone can just come and join us. We have the Facebook page that is open to public. We have a Discord channel that is again open to public. So basically, when anyone wants to join us, he can join us by various ways.
You've mentioned about the Hungarian Tolkienist. Do you as a Slovakian fandom, do you also cooperate with other fandoms like from Germany? And have you been at Tolkien Tage or Tolkien Thing in Germany?
Well, we are cooperating with other fandoms, not especially or not exactly with Germans. We have heard about them, but unfortunately we have not met them in person. But we have, as I mentioned, we have friends in Hungary, we have friends in Slovenia, we have met some Greeks, some Sweden, and of course Czechs, and also we used to meet with people from Poland, from Bielava.
Oh, so you know the Tolk folk, right? You were
Yes,
talking about Tolk folk.
we know the Tolk folk, and
Yeah.
we were there, I think, twice.
That's great because my group also participant in Talk Folk since 2017, and we are great friends with the Talk Folk. We did a lot of different events together, so it's quite nice to hear that you also know this group.
Yeah.
Maybe what Tolkien fans in Slovakia thinks about Rings of Power.
Well,
Tricky question.
this is a tricky question, but I'm afraid that most of them are not very happy with it. But I personally haven't seen it yet because I'm not a friend of these streaming services. But some of them say that at least the music is good.
Yeah, the music is quite good, and the sightseeing are also good, but nothing else.
Okay, thanks for interview, Jan and Sławek.